So we recite in English 2 times where it's indicated and once in Tibet. So please follow along as best you can. And no worries, everybody fractures the English language as well as the Tibetan language. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly I will establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. All mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me, obstructors who harm me, and those who create obstacles on my path to liberation and omniscience. May they experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly will I establish them in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. Dagla dangwa jepe no pa jepe Arbadam dam sheken pe badu jo parje patam sheki soje manam kadanya mesen jem shedevadan dunya dandra nudulana me pa nyanda bazo be chanju Thus, until I achieve enlightenment, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Until death, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. From now until this time tomorrow, I perform virtuous deeds with body, speech, and mind. Ge she du sang ma ge ba du lu na gi sang ge wa la ko ma she ba du lu na gi sang ge wa la ko du de ring ne song te ni ma san ta san ji ba du lu na gi sang ge wa la ko. We take refuge in the kind root and lineage lamas. We take refuge in the deities of the mandalas of the Yidams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Takas, Dakinis, and Dharma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom. We take refuge in the kind root and lineage lamas. We take refuge in the deities of the mandalas of the Yidams. We take refuge in all the exalted Buddhas. We take refuge in the perfect Dharma. We take refuge in the excellent order of the Sanghas. We take refuge in all the noble Takas, Dakinis, and Dharma guardians, possessors of the eye of wisdom. Transcends awadan jubba jebe baden lama dampa nam la japsu chiyo. Yedam jegu jila so nam la japsu chiyo. Sangye chom den den nam la japsu chiyo. Tampe chu nam la japsu chiyo. Pape ge du nam la japsu chiyo. Pao ka jo chu kyo so me so ye she gi chang dang dem pa nam la japsu chiyo. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma, and likewise in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embraced the enlightened mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path. Until I attain the heart of enlightenment, I take refuge in all the Buddhas. I take refuge in the Dharma, and likewise in the assembly of the Bodhisattvas. As the previous Buddhas embraced the enlightened mind and progressed on the Bodhisattva's path, I too, for the benefit of all sentient beings, give birth to bodhicitta and apply myself to accomplish the stages of the path. Shangchu Nimpo Chikiba Sangye Namla Japsuchi Chodan Chanchu Sambayi Solan Deshin Japsuchi Shitara Manje Desheki Chanchu Tone Kibata Chanchu Sembe La Pala Tedai Shin Ebata Deshin Rolai Pendantu Chanchu Semne Jigishin Deshin Tune La Pala Rimpashin Tu La Paraji. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. In the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha most excellent, I take refuge until enlightenment is reached. By the merit of generosity and other good deeds, may I attain Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. Sangye Chodan Sogi Chonala Changchu Badu Dagni Kapsuchi Dagi Dinsoji Pe Sonaji Drola Penchi Sangye Dubasho. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. May all mother sentient beings, boundless as the sky, have happiness and the causes of happiness. May they be liberated from suffering and the causes of suffering. May they never be separated from the happiness that is free from sorrow. May they rest in equanimity, free from attachment and aversion. Anam kadam sem chantam she devadan deve judan dempajuchi. Dumel ye judan travajuchi. Dumel me devatan travajuchi. Ye chadan nidan trave tanyamla nepajuchi. Now we go to the 7-limb prayer. In the yellow books, it's page 22. I'm not sure in the other books, golden brown books.
Page 12.
All right, thank you. I bow down respectfully with my body, speech, and faithful mind to all Tathagatas in the 10 directions. Those who have already reached the Tathagata state, those who are reaching it at present, and those Tathagatas still to come. Through the power of Samantabhadra's prayers, May all the Buddhas manifest vividly in my mind. I prostrate to them, multiplying my body as many times as there are atoms of the earth. In each atom, I visualize as many Buddhas as there are atoms, surrounded by countless bodhisattvas. Thus, all space is filled with Buddhas and bodhisattvas. I praise all Buddhas through magnificent chanting, expressing the great ocean of their excellent qualities. To all Buddhas, I make offerings of various pure flowers, flower gardens of music, anointing oils, magnificent light, and fragrant incense. I make offerings to them of fine garments, perfume, and potpourri, piled high as Mount Meru, and arranged in the most beautiful way. I visualize the highest and most extensive offerings, and offer them with great faith to all Buddhas. I prostrate to the Buddhas and make offerings to them, following the deeds of the great Bodhisattvas Samantabhadra. I confess to all Buddhas whatever negative actions I have done, due to the power of anger, desire, and ignorance. I rejoice in the merit of all the Buddhas in the 10 directions, of the great Bodhisattvas and Pratyeka Buddhas, those who have attained Arhatship, those who have entered the path to Arhatship, and all other beings. I request all great protectors and Buddhas to turn the highest wheel of Dharma as the light dispelling the darkness of the beings in the 10 directions and leading them gradually to the enlightened state. I supplicate those Buddhas intending to pass into parinirvana to live long for as many eons as there are atoms of the earth in order to benefit all beings. Whatever merit I have gathered through prostrations, offerings, confession, rejoicing, beseeching, and praying, for the sake of the enlightenment of all sentient beings, all this I dedicate. The next page in the yellow books is the 100-syllable purification mantra of Vajrasattva. So if you can follow that in the golden books would be great. We'll recite in English one time and then 3 times in the Sanskrit. Om Vajrasattva Samaya. Help to protect my vow to purify myself. May you remain firm with me. Grant me the complete satisfaction. Grow with me. Be loving towards me. Grant me the attainments to master the powers beyond body and nature. Show me all the deeds of body, speech, and mind. Make my mind heart good, virtuous, and auspicious. Revel in the bliss of the 4 joys, O Blessed One, who embodies the essence within me. Do not abandon me. Grant me the realizations of the indestructible nature. Make me one with you. Thus I signify my unity with non-duality. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Tenopa Jishtajedo Me Bhava Suktokayo Me Bhava Supakayo Me Bhava Anuraktu Me Bhava Sarasiddhi Me Prayatsa Sara Karma Sutta Me Sitsan Shriya Kuru Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Saratada Gata Bajrama Me Mutsa Bajri Bhava Mahasamaya Sattvaha Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Tenopa Dishkajedo Me Bhava Subhakayo Me Bhava Subhakayo Me Bhava Anuraktu Me Bhava Sarasiddhi Me Prayatsa Sara Karma Sutta Me Sitsan Shriya Kuru Ha 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 ho Bhagavan Tathagata Vajrama Me Mutsa Bajri Bhava Mahasamaya Sattvaha Om Vajra Sattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajra Sattva Tinopa Tishta Jeda Me Bhava Sutta Kayo Me Bhava Subhakayo Me Bhava Anuratu Me Bhava Sarvasiddhi Me Prayatsa Sarva Karma Sutta Me Sutta Shriya Kuru Ahahu Bhagavan Sarvatathagata Vajramame Mansa Vajri Bhava Mahasamaya Sattva. And the next page in the yellow books, this does not appear in the golden brown book, so please follow along. This is the very short mandala offering and the request for teachings. The ground is sprinkled with scented water and strewn with flowers. It is adorned with Meru, the supreme mountain, the four continents, and the sun and the moon. As a Buddha field, I offer it. May all sentient beings attain the happiness of the Buddha fields. Om Guru Deva Dakini Ratna Mandala Pradya Soha Sashi Pochu Jushi Meto Tran Riva Rishi Nide Kempani Sanje Shinla Mite Pavayi Jogananda Shindu Deva Sho Om Guru Ratna, Om Guru Deva Dakini Ratna Mandala Pratitha Soha. Please turn the wheel of the Dharma of the two vehicles and their combinations according to the disposition and likewise the mental capacities of living beings. Samchen Lamki Sambhata Loye Zeda Chitawa Chechon Dhammo Tepayi Chogi Holo Kodu So.
Okay. Okay, so good evening, everyone. So we're going to do first meditation. So please sitting comfortable, relax your precious body, especially the shoulders, relax, eyes, relax. Relax the mind and the heart. Relax the breathing. Inhale, exhale 3 times. So now today we're going to meditation, which is kind of without any object, simple, every time resting, nature state, the body, nature state, the breathing, inhale, exhale, the nature state of the mind and the heart. Just resting deep inside as possible. Do not worry about everything in the past. Do not chasing after the past. Just relax. Do not creating the futures. Letting go. Do not thinking at the present. Everything's letting go. It is, it is. Do not worry about any conceptual thought. It rise, just let it rise. Do not creating the thoughts. Just remain nature state. If it is rise, just look at that nature without the rejecting, accepting. Just relax. Nature state of the body and mind. The meditator job is always as possible. Just watch it. Meditator's job is not rejecting the thought. Meditator's job is not creating the thought. The truth is nobody can stop the thought. So therefore, just beware the nature of the thought, just letting go. Beware thought, the nature of the thought is impermanent, comes, goes. Nature of the thought is emptiness, inherently does not exist. Nature of the thought is selfless. Nature of the thought is interdependence. Just beware, just relax, remain nature state as possible. I'm going to say in the supplication to the lineage masters of Vajradhara, Telopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Gambopa, Mahamudra, Jigdasamgo, from their lineage, His Holiness Chezang Rinpoche. I do aid there His Holiness Dalai Lama, then His Holiness Chezang Rinpoche, His Holiness Chungchang Rinpoche, then His Eminence Garchen Rinpoche. Then I added one more master, which is very kind to me, His Eminence Sanjay Nyamba Rinpoche. So I'm going to say supplication. During that time, continue meditation deep inside as possible. Lama Jinja no Yamba Jinja Namkaya Bala Chendavi Me Bai La Chai Chugadar Jin Janji Yang Tin Senze Je Dongwe Sawande Lama Cherayan Tawara Sinjelo Chasavara Yurdolo Tinte Chanlai Bema Ayama Son Tilo Shirai Samboya Tin Semze Je Dongwe Sawande Lama Charan Dawar Senjalo Jambula Hari Lo Maraso Chisreja Kawa Chuni Keba Naro Benchi Ya Ti Simzeje Dungwe So Ande Lama Charan Dawara Sinjalo Lodo Londo Yadadre Nije Damba Pula Jara Dajara Marpa Lota Yante Senze Donwe Sawande Lama Charan Tawara Sinjalo Dolapche Kanla Dan Jarapa Nije Jadanga Sodarache Bajabai Draje Ya Ti Senze Dongwe Sawande Lama Charan Dawar Senjalo Sharadhalai Gambi To Sali Wasraje Chavla Jinchemi Jemimbe Jabo Yayati Simseje Dungwe Sawande Lama Charan Dawara Sinjalo Papamoy Turu Yaiganto Samo Sangha Jeter Kase Jeran Song Sanje Yang Yante Semse Je Dongwe Sawande Lama Cherayan Tawara Sinjelo Sanje Wange Chosonde Domi Dedo Gedo Yon La Cha Tijin Chuje Koye Yan Tin Senze Je Dongwe So Wande Lama Cherayan Dawar Senjelo Neche Zo Nide Den Den Na Baradar Je Chanda Ye Me Be Jamgon Dali Lama Ya Ti Senze Je Dongwe So Wande Lama Charan Dawara Sinjelo Neche Zo Nide Den Den Na Baradur Je Chanda Ye Me Be Jangun Tele Lundo Yan Ti Senze Je Dongwe Sawande Lama che zo ni de den de no. Parador je chang da ye me be jamu chu je na ya ya de. Sem ze je dong ye so wan de. Lama je ran da wa. Sen je lo ne je zo ni de den de na. Parador je chang da ye me be. Barachin dorje chanchen ya ya te semze je dongwe so ande lama chara da wara sin je lo ne je za nye de na para dorje chanda ye me be Chöpchi sanje nyemba yang yang chi senze je dongwe so wan de lama chera tawara sin je lo nye son je ve tan do do la sin je lo je min jen tro war ze do so san kro wa la shen ba lo wa sho Na nye mo rang sar cho war sho le yon do la ra cho war sho ma lu nga ye me to war sho ye rang sim chu ge to war sho je la ma gong me nam dar jin ce de ba nyam bar sin je lo la na sin kon de ma le ba 去洒家前边若娘求。 Jawagendo yanda lama da rami jeje bala long jeje sada lamji. Indira zane durje change kampa nyarda yo janju samje rinpo che maje banam jejreshi. Chiba nyamba meba ya kone konda mbevara yo nanjuen dene shinto nibra kache wo tandu tabra chobal. Kade de la pimbo madu na sende yanda joba kalan jor kaje jama da jawa da junje dinje samya janzun brada chujen jazun jirin Kalo de shendo ka mendo sam yare mado chora ngeche taba nyurdo do niman nebe to so yendo mada paran do ngeche. Ela nyole bonla zindre tabo meshe bora zende mada dunge dinda dan dowe chinche kala dada zondowe sena namge londa. Resa mbapshe wecha nyurjondro tuje narde jabondo jona longjo zada nishi jime da chewe tende kada. Lene tamajin to jison da ridon korwe dunga de samna nilon tabo dong nangwa da nyembe simje tachi. Lo chi son do wara sinje labdo so, chu lam do wara sinje labdo so, lam tupa se wara sinje labdo so. Tunang yi shi son cha wara sinje labdo so. Wasa sa cha shimbo choke ngudu to wara sinje labdo so. Okay, so now we are our today. Actually, our topic is about the discussion. So, okay, let me say a few words about first meditation, which is today's meditation, or which is you can call insight meditation, or you can call like the traditional of the Milarepa's way of meditations, but it is insight meditation generally, So which is many different types of course, meditation there. Insight meditation is very, very, very profound. There's not just only one way. The Milarepa way of meditation is the one of the very powerful way of meditation, which I say, the point is resting. We need to remind ourselves, of course, many of you have already many times heard it. Remain into the nature state. So what that really means is without any making it ourselves, creating something, whether it is a body, whether it is a breathing, whether it is especially for the mind and heart, whatever it is, remain the nature. Try to reach as possible deep inside nature states, So then, as long as we are well trained, well enough, when we are reach that nature state, then the rest of doesn't really matters. During those time, resting nature state is a really reality nature of the mind and the heart. The Milarepa says it's right. It will appears all different thoughts, thoughts in the past, thoughts in the future, thoughts in the present time, so many. Our mind is becoming restless. Could not really rest it. The reason of all the thoughts. So therefore our mind is very restless, day or night, even the night time too. So in order to rest mind, it's important to have resting in nature states. Then during the meditation, insight meditation, then just to watch it very natural way. Sometimes thought rises. As long as we are not chasing after the conception will nothing to do us anything. As long as we are not judging the thought, as long as we are not craving the thoughts, then thought is always comes, goes, comes, goes. Sometimes there's no thoughts. That is also possible. But at the same time, the meditators' point is inside meditation. Do not wishes. I don't want to have thought. No, that doesn't work that way. Have to let go that one too. I want to have thought. No, that doesn't work either. It's very tricky actually. It takes time. Actually, you all meditator, so you know what I'm talking about. So once we train well, so we can do it. Nature stay. Some level, depends on how long maintain or not. So therefore, generally, thought is nothing to do with us actually. Whether it is past, whether it's present, whether it is a future. In the Telupa said, thought doesn't matter. The appearance, thought will appear. That doesn't matter. The matters is soon as arises, then we craving there. Hold it, thoughts, very dearly accept it. One way we are dearly accepted. And one way thought we are very rejected right away. Accepted is a desire, rejected is the dislike. Doesn't want to be. So then become a thought. Then not just that, then become in this point of view, when we are investigating thoughts again, so then we get more trapped there. We don't need to investigate at all. In this Mahamudra and Milarepa way of meditation, no, without any investigate anything, just look at that nature as possible. Just watch it very deeply. Very helpful. If you realize many of you practice the breathing, it's very useful. Nature breathing is you have to practice actually. Then you will understand what the nature breathing means. Soon as we natural breathing, then thoughts, it disappears. It's nothing disturbs us at all. We can continue, remain nature state. Try to without reject, accept, without judging it good or bad. Just wear it, just look at. That's what the Milarepa say. Just look at. Tibetan word means do. Just look at and relax it. It's nice two word, but it's practical. It's not so easy actually. And it is possible. It is possible once we practice. So that means, and yesterday I'm sharing with you, one of our master, His Eminence Gacharam, would say, practice. I think that means that. All this means better means just practice it. Try it again. So then later better and better, better. Then our totally inside free. Nothing can bind it us, anything. The body is totally free. The mind is totally free. And the heart is totally free. So therefore it rises wisdom there. That's which is called primordial wisdom. Sometimes Dzogchen, they call self Rangjung Yishis, wisdom, primordial wisdom of the self. Self-wisdom of primordial nature, wisdom. And see as all the thought, whether it is, whatever thought is positive or negative, without any judging it, without any craving it, without holding it, just look at nature and letting go again and again and again. Then our become a really real kind of expert meditators, that's called, Nothing can bind it us. Then furthermore, if you understanding, of course, many of our practitioners, furthermore understanding, soon as rises anything conceptual thought, just look at the nature. That is conceptual thought is manifestation of the dharmata, of the true reality nature of the mind. Fundamental nature of the mind. It rises. All the thoughts, whether it is positive thought, whether it is negative thought, the meditator beware about it rises from manifestation from that dharmata. It manifestation from the energy from the dharmata, the true nature, the reality, true nature. It rises due to different conditions, and the condition dissolves, condition goes away, it dissolves back to them. It's like a wave of the oceans. Due to condition of the wind, waves rises very much there. When the condition of the wind energy dissolves, that dissolves where? Nowhere. Dissolves back to the ocean. It's like the same thing. Our true nature of the mind is the pure candlelight, which is nothing going on, no wind energy, no wind. So the flames remains their very clear and luminosity nature. So you can see all the flame, the light of the candle, see things very clear. When their wind rises, condition of the wind rises, then blow up the candles back and forth, right and left. So then what? We do not see it clear. So that the wind energy of the conceptuals are like a wind energy, the waves. When the wind energy dissolves, the conditions away goes away. Clarity is there. Luminosity nature is there. Why it is called a condition? Therefore, condition means impermanence. That means condition means actually Tibetan called the Chinla Ralepa, depend on the condition. So when the conditions dissolves, there's nothing. Likewise, all the thoughts. So another way, Delopa says in his Mahamudra, Jingba lo na trova tetsume. Jingba means bind it. How bind it? Bind it by the thoughts, actually. The conceptual thoughts, positive and negative. It's the same. It's a point. The point of the binding is whether it is positive, whether it is negative. It's equally binded, actually. Nothing differences. So when the bind is, Telopa says, Jingba learners, which thoughts the bind is us, that is supposed to let go. Learner means resting. Tibetan word means rest. It's a simple word in English. Rest it, Milarepa's tongue, the teaching is rest on the nature itself. There's nothing needed to find any antidote at all. Just to know the meditators how to rest in the nature. So that's called Jingba Lona Trova Tesumi. Then we'll say, there's no doubt to liberation. There's nothing else to liberate, actually. I think that's a wonderful practice, wonderful method, actually. Real dealing with in reality life, these things, Oh, there's a wonderful practices. This is a way of the blessing lineage has done, including Milarepa masters, Mapalozawa masters, Naropa masters, Telopa masters, Vajradhara, and Mila's student, Gampopa come from all the blessing lineage in the past and the present. Supposed to be every practitioner. Oh, that's the one method way of doing. This practice meditation is can be done with the sitting, can be done whenever we are relaxing at home, relaxing wherever, it can be done. But in order to be established, in order to be stable oneself, we needed to train, sitting meditation for whatever we can, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 1 hour, whatever meditator can do it. So once we train well, no problem at all. No? So therefore, in the ultimate, there's nothing such as exist. Samsara, either way is nirvana, actually not. Mahamudra point of view. There's no such thing as good or bad. But in the relative level, yes, there is until we realize it. No? So that's I thought maybe share with you the short insight meditation. Of course, just to remind you, that's all, nothing much new. We all been doing that long time, many times you heard it. In order to you learn this meditation, I like to say, because of the academic point of view, many of you read about the Mahamudra book, you must read it. Mahamudra books of the many Karmapas teaching. They are particularly third Karmapa, Mahamudra supplication prayer. There's many commentary on it. Very good, wonderful. Very, so then the Mahamudra teaching in it's a couple books there in the past history. In the present time, there's a couple books there too, wonderful Mahamudra books there actually. The Chachin Dave is called the Moonlight. Taputashi Namjas, many of you heard about. It's very wonderful. I myself haven't completely read that one. I read some. It's wonderful. But I read the rest of them. Rest of many other Mahamudra teaching different texts there. And then receiving some wonderful qualified masters, but myself is not enough practice. That's all matters, that's all, other than enough to receiving something, So those are read and then study, really, it's all wonderful teachings there, including. So, of course, some Mahamudra teachings in the Milarepa songs there too, a couple songs, different songs are there. So one of Milarepa songs teaching about the one Drakinis, Padrambum, one Drakini, Padrambum talk about teaching about her, about how to meditation with the sun, with the moon, with the cloud, with the space, so on. It's a wonderful, very few words, but it's very practice point of view. It's very, very wonderful, very, very good sometimes. So I just like to share that. So, and what else? Now our topic is what? That's the most important topic. On the point, all the point is we have to be kind of awaken, right? In order to awaken, we have to, such thing is we have to deal with this consumption sound. That's nothing else. Yes, please. You want to say something?
Were you chanting a Milarepa song?
I was chanting the supplication of Milarepa's and the lineage masters. Yeah. From Vajradhara means Buddha, and then Buddha to the Telopa, Telopa to the Naropa, Naropa to the Marpa, Marpa to Milarepa, Milarepa's student Gampopa. Then Gampopa is just thinking about all the Kaju lineage masters, and then particularly my personally lineage, Dikung Kaju, or Gampopa, Pamutrupa, Choba Jitin Sum Jitin Gombo, Jitin Gom, Choba Jitin Songo, Lord Jitin Songo Sita, how to say, the representative is His Holiness, these two, Chazang Rinpoche, Chungzang Rinpoche. Then of course I added His Holiness Dalai Lama after that because receiving a lot of teachings, I felt I should do that. Then after His Holiness Dalai Lama, Chazang Rinpoche, Chungzang Rinpoche, then added after that His Eminence Gachi Rinpoche and one of the wonderful realizing beings, and then added one more master, my I call Sanjay Nyemba, Tripshin Sanjay Nyemba is actually he's originally his Tamakaju lineage, but he's non-sectarian, receive all that instruction teaching from previous Tengu Chenzi Rinpoches. And I received from him lots of teaching, completely all the marvelous, which I have some blessings, that's I'm happy to be, including the kind of treasure of the knowledge, which is all the Buddha Dharma knowledge treasure talks about it. Then the Kajupa, Kaju treasure, which means Kajupa lineage from the Marpa Lotsawas treasure lineage, empowerment and teaching. Then Dhammanjue, one of the Dhamma is the fifth instruction, which is talks about all the lineage in Tibetan Buddhism. Kajupa, Sakya, Gelu, Nyingma, all the lineage is this one of the Dhammanjue is taught that last many years from him. Very, very, very kind, very, 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 how to say, very deep, clear. His teachings are very, very, and the good thing is he's a very good lineage masters. His previous Tengu Chenzi Rinpoche is very well known, very one of the best non-sectarian in the last this century. Real deal, what you call it, real deal. So that's why I did the lineage master. It's important in our traditionally. Sometimes many times we can meditate ourselves. It's very important. There's no doubt. Certain times there's a lot of obstacle there during the meditation in order to realization and so on. We needed support from that great masters, their blessings. Only the way we can devotion towards to them, respect, then we receive the blessings from there. So that makes us sometimes opens some our inner realizations, take care of the obstacles. Real Mahamudra meditators, they do not search any antidote at all. Only praise to the lineage master. When they have a challenge, like say today, long few months in a really difficulty meditation, they do not search anybody, antidote, no. Just pray to the lineage masters again and again, then go back, meditate again. Then praise to the meditate, pray to them, That's what it's a very wonderful to do actually. Okay, I'm keep talking. Now your turn. You guys, anybody want to say or maybe questions? That's fine. Want to share something? Actually, I'm supposed to in a Sikkim, should be. But somehow I came here. One of my master, I told you, he's giving one of the very interesting teaching right now for 5 months, 6 months. I'm supposed to be there, but I came here actually to my mother, actually. Mother is so fun, so important. I thought I have to do this one first. I have a choice. Either I go over there, either I have to take care of the mom. I choose the mom. I don't know mom how long will last. And teaching also the same times. Never know. But I don't know. I did choose the right or wrong. I have no idea. But I think I did the right choice. Take care of the mom. As I give up. In order to do a lot of other things, certain things we have to sacrifice one another. Have to give something. It's not easy. I like to be there and I like to take care of the mom in here. No, it's not.
In India, the thing.
Yeah,
the-
things
it
in
was
India, very. It's a very rare. It's the first time he's teaching. People are requested very highly. Other master push him, so finally he accepted to doing this. Otherwise, he said he's not going to do it. So I miss that part really. You remember sometimes I stay in a room. You all see me, so I was trying to catch his. They don't put whole, but they put you some talks, some little bit. Not allowed to put all in a video, whatever. But they put you some his kind of commentary, whatever talks a little bit. It's nice.
Would somebody like to speak? Somebody have a question or
I have a
comment?
question.
Yes. Pete.
Yes, Rinpoche. My question, a friend of mine died yesterday of cancer, and she's been struggling for a long time, and she just passed away. Kind of was failing the last couple of weeks. And I was wondering what are good practices or prayers that I could do for her during the 49 days. Another friend and I have got her on the list for the Jangchok at a monastery in Kathmandu. And so that's one thing. But I was wondering what I could do in my own practice.
I think so. You can do is the best way. You can do all the practice is wonderful, as we all know. It's nothing wrong. Particularly doing kind of Amitabha short prayer and Amitabha mantra and Buddha compassion mantra. That's usually we do. Any practice is nothing wrong.
Okay.
But additionally, you can dedicate it and the mantras, and especially whenever you remember him or her, so say the mantra and dedicate it. If it is nice to do long Amitabha prayer, if you know that. If not, the short Amitabha supplication, remember? Yeah, that's what's wonderful to do. And that's also where I will recommend, if you may know that King of Aspiration prayer is so important. If you know that, there you have, right?
It's a great prayer, yeah.
Yeah, wonderful prayer. Very, very.
That's a good one.
I myself, I did last time when my father died. I'm continue non-stop doing it,
Okay.
King of Aspiration and Amitabha. These two prayer is from my side to as a gift, as a dedicated for my dad and including everybody. So that's a very good.
Okay. Thank you, Lama.
Yeah. Then you are meditator. You can do more than prayer, Pete.
Yeah. When I meditate, I get very tense, when I do silent meditation.
Oh,
I kind of go through it, but I get a tense feeling. I know you're supposed to be resting, resting peacefully. So it's just something I got to work through, I guess,
yeah.
Was it Katie?
Paul is asking, was it Katie who passed away?
No. Someone else named Carol. Yeah. No, I talked to Katie earlier today. She's doing well right now, reasonably well. She has dementia, but she's, you know, in a good mood and so forth. So that was good. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks for asking, Paula.
Mhm.
Somebody else like to make a comment or a question, please?
Yes,
Lama,
maybe.
is there anything else maybe you could say about what is meant by the natural state? Because sometimes with this type of meditation, I find my mind like will start to spin around on that of like trying to figure out like what is the natural state exactly, or if that makes sense of like what that means to be in the natural state, what the natural state is.
I don't know how to put the word. The natural state, actually, there's no word to express, but very limited through the word. But natural means kind of the Tibetan usually we use as a machupas. Natural state means machupa means no creating, no making it, no creating it something. When you like for inside meditation, we are meditating, then like say I'm in my thought it says I want to meditate. Now that's the natural, that's not natural actually. If I think about I am meditate, no, that let's go that one. Have to let go that one. You know, Majua means that let natural state means itself is let go that. Or pure nature. Whatever it is natural. The pure and the brand new. Yes, that put Tibetan word sometimes we say soma, you know, completely new, just fresh. Okay, let me put this way. Back to the practice part. Is practice part important, actually? Okay, natural state. Let's see. When we live in a natural state means without any creating the body, just whatever body relax. You know, doesn't have to do anything. Oh. Then body natural, the breathing natural. You doesn't have to be creating breathing like no. Whatever it is, relax there. Then go to the Sammachupa. The mind has to be relaxed. Mind has to be natural state, means do not create it. Leave it, it is, it is. Pure nature, let's put this way. Purity nature of the phenomena. But you go with the practice first, with the breathing, let me say this way. Okay? If you go with as a practitioner, like say, practice natural state, you go with the breathing first. Relax yourself, relax the body. Then just go with the breathing first. Just focus breathing, okay? Focus breathing couple times, just watch it. Breathe in, breathing out. Then just relax. Breathing, the breathing, nature breathing is just let go, relax. I think you will find it. It has to find with through meditation, through again and again. It's nothing. Don't worry about it. But simply that now word is the not creating, not making itself. Or just everything. The simply means everything let go, everything let go, everything relax.
Yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense, and I think the trap sometimes I fall into with doing that type of thing is my ego, that sense of self, or that ego is starts to like subtly, even without trying, like it's trying to create the naturalness. It's trying to create the natural state, which obviously that's the opposite of what it what it really is. And yeah, I don't know. For me, at least, like it comes up down to a lot of like that feeling of ego or self, where times when I have felt maybe not like the pure natural state, like the Dharmakaya, I don't mean like something like that, but at times when I've done like different practices where they almost like it's almost kind of like you give yourself like pointing out instructions almost type of things. Even just the other day of different things like looking for the self, or like who am I, or like where am I. It's really just turning the awareness in on the self, or like what is left when there's no problem to solve. Like that was one of it's almost like little pointing out instruction things, and times where it's like the mind kind of stops because it's like looking for itself, it can't find the ego, and it just feels like everything's like very big and silent and still. To me that seems to be like a big difference for me when I feel like I'm meditating, I'm the meditator, and feel the ego trying to do its whole thing. Then it's like there's no peace, or there's no, everything's unnatural or something. I don't know, kind of rambling, but
Yeah.
thank you very much.
Yeah, but the first thing is for me is my knowledge very limited, the practice part. First thing is when you're resting mind, relaxing, try to be practiced with relaxing. Go with that part. More relaxing. Not so much worry about the thoughts part. No, just go with the relaxing as much relax. When you're not relaxed, try to be a little relaxed. Maybe beat with the breathing again, relax. You practice that. Once you really settle down, deep, relaxing. Also, then later on, then you will find it. Then the second thing we have to do is more working with the thought, which you have to recognize the thought. Thought, when you realize it, thought appears soon as whatever, whether it is present, whether it's a past, you realize a thought appears, then just watch as possible. Try to not really judge it. Try to not kind of creating that thought, whether it is past and present, just to relax and let go is possible. For my experience is that first thoughts are let go. In order to letting go thought, you have to working with breathing actually. Okay, for my knowledge, you can try that, see how the technique working or not. More working with the breathing again. Focus there, relax, focus there. When the thought rises, particularly strong thought rises, whatever it is, perceptions, just deep exhale to let go again. Relax. So then when soon as relaxing, then gradually going to be better and better, pretty sure. There is a certain techniques necessarily, go with the breathing first, but the intellectually have to understanding, I don't have to go chasing my thoughts, creating my not thoughts, not judging my thoughts. That's just the intellectual part. But the intellectual, when it comes to the practice, gradually better and better. We know how to do inside. It's going to be. There is no doubt. Of course, it takes. We all know practice. Therefore, the practice.
Thank you.
Chris, would you like to say something, ask a question, or make a comment?
Sure. I just want to thank you very much for inviting me here. And it's a great blessing to be in your presence. And I want to thank my friends for inviting me and everyone. Anyway, it's great to be here with all of you here and online. And I feel some great energy from your presence, and I feel better from just attending your talk. I'm not sure. I wanted to ask you though. Do you live in India? Where in India? Do you live in McLeod-Ganj?
Living more from Malurganj to, I think so, more than 2 hours by taxi. Other side. Yeah. Beer is called.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Beer.
Yeah, you been there? No. You've been
No,
Malurganj?
I've been to Dharamsala and I've heard of beer.
Yes.
BIR. Right?
Yes, that's right. Very close. Many of doesn't know. It's just now it's becoming kind of little popular.
It's a beautiful place in the Himalayas.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, I've been reading about it
Yeah,
recently.
it's just other side of the Dharamshala. 2 hours.
If I
Yeah.
ever can get back to India, I would
Yes,
like
yes.
to go.
Yeah.
How long are you here in the United States?
I'm hoping really end of this month going back to India. End of this month. See, I'm waiting for my mom's some paperwork done.
You would like to bring
Yeah.
her back? but
Yes, I have. That's my important work.
Yes, this is
I have to
great.
take care of her. Yeah.
That's beautiful. Brian, would you? Yeah, you have a lot of.
Please go ahead.
My mind was wandering, and I was wondering if what the stars are like in India and Nepal, because we have so much light pollution here. I was wondering if our notion of enlightenment is different because of the way we perceive the stars. That's just what my mind.
In India, you mean?
Yeah, there's stars.
The night sky.
Yes. Big city is a problem, but the Himalayas are still blue. We have where I live, my family lives very, very colorful. Blue sky, mountains are green, and lots of trees and the water's there. But downtown, more Delhi and those places, terrible. I think so. So it's very sad, whatever, Even though where we live is now also, I mean, my mom used to say it's now weather change either, because my mom lived there more 60 years, She says, no, it wasn't like that here. It used to be, the rainings and on the time they rain, whatever the timing, the 4 seasons are very good, always healthy. Now it's kind of mixed up with that, when there's no raining season, there's a lot of rain coming. There's a really needed rain, there's no rain happenings. So probably something's happening. Yeah. Sometimes rains too much, Sometimes there's no rain at all. The farmers have challenges there when they needed the right time rain, And not the right time rain, the farmers lost all the, all the farms.
So at the nighttime, is the sky very black? And can you see stars and
You can see stars. No. No.
brighter than here?
Yeah,
I'm sure.
Himalaya will say yes, possible.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to the mountains, couple different mountains as in my life. It's quite a bit okay, but then still challenge there, sort of. The wonderful tourists there, but then there are more tourists and there's more other things there too.
The mountains are very conducive for meditation. Do you find that the energy is very stable and strong for a place? It's one of the ideal places for meditation up in the mountains.
Yes, this is a meditation. Usually the mountains are much easy to meditate and relaxing. Yes, there is a possible, but I've been a couple of different mountains. It's very interesting, much easy to relax. It's possible. But then later on, more and more, you have to come back in the reality. You cannot escape in the mountain all the time, So.
Chris, how was it for you when you were there? What was your experience? Did you find that meditation came easier to you, or just to have a contemplative kind of state of mind?
Absolutely. I found I was recently at Deer Park Monastery in Southern California, and it's surrounded 360 degrees by mountains.
Mhm.
And I stayed for 6.5 weeks. And I attended their range retreat 12 years previously to that for a full 90-day retreat.
Okay.
But I find that being in the mountains is just, there's some very strong, for one, it's a very sacred place, as India
Right.
is sacred, but because the Native Americans inhabited the land there in Southern California for centuries. But I found it to be much easier to be in that kind of environment, surrounded by nature and many years of spiritual practice surrounding the land. To meditate there was beautiful with the community around you, and of course you can meditate anywhere, really, right?
Right.
But
Sure. The mountains, there is an energy is definitely possible,
say if you're by a river, the sound of the river is very conducive, soothing.
Right.
Very good, thank you. You have a question, comment?
Well, I was thinking about the mountains and the caves that people meditate in, and are Nagas real?
Nagas. Well, generally speaking, there is some spirit live there, possible. It's not necessary to be like a real, the physical forms. No. In the ancient time, they believed that, and still believes that, some people very strongly. Nagas there, the good things in the ancient, some cases, they are so kind of protected those areas. They always never cut the trees, never damage the waters, always be careful with that. I think it's a good things there, and the believing or not it's another, whatever they believe in someone. Whatever through they believe, they protect all this, the plants, everything. The mountains, the sacred mountain, they never damage them, always leave it is whatever it is, protect them, the ancient time, and still do some. They live in the Nagas, live in those special places. There's some energies, Yeah.
Would you spend a minute and just explain what many people think the Nagas are? How do you define the Nagas?
They find that the Nagas, usually they believe in the Nagas and support them. When they support them, do not harm them. When we harm to the plants, whatever the secret mountains and so on, then it affects us. And then the individual cases, different people, they believe something more than that, They says, I did there something and it happens some things to me, and I did something wrong there, and then I was sick and something this. That's it. Individual case. I don't know the majority how they, but individual in the ancient time, they do believe it very strong. They do, I guess my parents' generation, they believe very strong. Yeah, very. Sometimes very much. Too much belief.
You mentioned that you want to go to Mount Kailash.
That's right.
Are you going to do that soon or later? Or are you going to
I
do it
think so
this
later.
year? This year?
No, later. I think so. Right
Later.
now, my
Mother.
I can't move anywhere so much. I have to.
It's too far.
Yeah, it is far. It is far. Yeah.
Lama Gursam,
Yes.
have they paved a road around Mount Kailash now? They were talking about paving a road around Mount Kailash.
This says I heard. I just contacted with some Nepal last couple of weeks ago. The travel agency, they say that the roads are open, but then issues about the visas issues. There are certain things, it's all this economic, whatever the business,
Yeah.
Chinese government and Nepal government, and like for us, the Tibetans, they never let go. Never let it go,
Yeah.
As a Tibetan, as a U.S. passport holder, then no, they don't letting go us there too. There is some. They're letting go the Westerner, but they're letting go Westerner is not directly to the Mount Kailash. They go to the China and then go back to the Tibet, the Lhasa, Central Tibet, then go move. That's all the economic, the business stuff, all this. Just so otherwise it's very close from Nepal to Mount Kailash. It's not too far.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
No, it's not far at all. It can be few days and reach there, according by the taxi I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, by the road is a little bit long.
Well, I hope you can find a way to get there when you get a chance.
I hope so. Let's see. Actually, I have to be there and then talk to some travel agency and see what they do. Not easy. Tibetans always such struggling anywhere.
Well, I'm wondering, this is a discussion group, and we've heard from most everybody between last night and tonight, but we haven't heard from Gavin, and I wonder if Gavin has any thoughts or comments or questions he'd like to make. Gavin's always has interesting thoughts.
You have to mute.
Yes,
Oh.
you.
Okay, that's good. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. It's very nice to be here. We came in late today, and in India, I heard you were talking about the town that you're from. how far from Tibet is that town? And is that the town where the Dalai Lama had taken refuge after China had came?
Yes, this where I live, the town is very close to Dalai Lama lives at Dharamshala, not too far.
Oh,
Maybe you can nowadays you can Google it. It's called the Bir, B-I-R. You will see it, all the what the town looks like, all the what is the facilities there, BIR. And it's also known as a paragliding, the best paragliding place in India.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Paragliding. It's like you jump off of cliffs and fly. Wow, I would love to travel to India one day and come.
I want to go for the class.
Okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
it's my dream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How so your family came over with the Dalai Lama to establish the Dalai Lama's government?
Yes, my parents came during that
Wow.
time, 1959, with Dalai Lama from Tibet. My parents are from more kind
Wow.
of eastern Tibet, very far, very close to the China. So my parents came 1959, including a lot of other families. So we settled into the Bir, which is the close to the Dharamsala settlement. We have I think so, four different Tibetan settlement in the Bir. There's where I live in India. It's
Wow.
the refugees, refugee settlement. Yeah.
When you
Yes,
were,
it is
when
a
you
great
were-
honor. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Gavin.
Oh, I was letting you know it is a great honor to be able to hear you and to learn from you, because of everything that's happened. And I greatly respect that you have come all the way across the world and are at Lance's house.
Right.
It is a great honor.
Yes.
So you grew up as a child
Yeah.
in beer, and were there a lot of other children?
Sure.
But now not so much. Are new people settling in that are having families, or is it more that the families that were there originally are growing older, and the children like yourself have all moved away and gone to different parts of India or rest of the world?
Yeah, I was actually born in that area actually.
Yeah,
Then I grew up there.
yeah,
So yes, now Tibetans are also, of course, Tibetan population is a small first thing, and now is more or less like many of my age and my time, people are already moved out many different places in the world, and the settlement is still doing okay, but the children's that schools are less children's. There's a couple of schools they have to close because of there's no children. There's no kid anymore, so they have to close it.
yeah.
So, but generally Tibetan settlements doing okay, not bad,
Yeah, we were talking, Lama and I were talking about it earlier today, and I Googled beer, and there were some very interesting things, very interesting pictures and so on. And Lama has said that it's become, a tourist place. It's not overwhelmed by tourists, but it's a very lovely place. It looks very nice. It's probably one of the places that we would say would be one of the best kept secrets in India. To go there, there's holiness there, there's beauty there, and it's a peace of mind, very conducive to meditation and
Yeah.
practice.
We have lots of from the Westerners, from US, from European countries, lot of people there from lot of in Singapore, Malaysia, Taiwan, people there too. A lot of people study as well. And a lot of now there's many also retired people too. And the Westerner people do want to retire there. They rented house and things, and they stay there. They study and practice, and then they go to Dharamshala to see Dalai Lama, then come back and go other places. We have a different place to study there. There are a couple of things that people do, a lot of things. So it's a good place actually. Very, yeah.
Have you been to Ladakh?
No.
I've heard about a friend of mine who was from India, but was a teacher here in Maryland.
Okay.
Professor. He went to Ladakh,
Mm.
and other people I also read that it's almost like that's the real Tibet now.
That's what they say.
Because
But
that's where all the
right.
Tibetans, the monasteries are, and
Right.
they're free.
Mm.
And it's so beautiful, but it can be 20,000 feet
Right.
or higher.
Yeah. Ladakh is a high, but it is like more desert, from my understanding. And then Tibet is some part. Tibet is there's some desert, but most is not. Most of it is not desert. There's some Tibet part is lots of trees there. Some part of there is no tree because of the weather. They cannot really grow there. The trees doesn't happen. Whatever, the climate is too high.
Too high.
So
It's very arid, very kind of like without trees, like you said, just very, like rocks everywhere, rocks river,
and just plain grass. Which is where's my parents and grandparents originally from Eastern Tibet. When I went to Tibet, 2005 and 2008 or 11 something, I went there. My original monastery is there too. So it's just a huge mountain, and then all the grass is like a green. There's no trees at most. Maybe one or two little bit small juniper you can I don't know, juniper is everywhere. Juniper trees is possible. But that they said doesn't happen. Trees.
Calvin, did you want to say something?
I was saying,
Yes,
is
Rita.
it possible what I can go into Dharamsala and stay and learn there, study for some 1 month, 2 months? It's like every people can do this.
Yes, please. If you want to come, you can give me a number and we can contact. If you want to, if somebody, your friend, want to stay for 2 months or whatever study, so I will be happy to give you some information, what kind of study you want to study, and then find out the place to stay, whatever comfortable, and then according to the visas issues, so that's how we needed to talk about it, So now there's no difficulty. Anybody can come, anybody can go, So yeah, if you like to stay beer, and that's fine. If you stay in Dharamshala, more study there, study in a beer. I think first somebody has to go there and then look at and experience it, which you're more comfortable with it, the less, people can choose it.
And what about Kingdom Mustang? You went there?
Oh, Mustang, you went Mustang?
No, you. I know.
No,
You know.
no, I didn't go to Mustang. That's too far. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I went to the different parts of the mountain in Nepal, very close to border Tibet. Yeah, but never been in the Mustang. I love to go Mustang. Then I love to go this one Milarepa's cave It's called the Yolmo. It's not Mustang is quite a bit far. You know, very very almost very far close to the very close to the China, the Tibet. You know, so the Yolmo monastery, Milarepa's cave is not too far from Kathmandu. 1 or 2 day by bus, and then few days, 1 or 2 days walking distance. You know.
Wow.
I was in, I was gonna say, I was in Nepal for 3 months before going to India. And I heard about Mustang, and very few tourists, very few people were
Yes,
going there.
very,
It's very
very-
remote,
Very remote.
very hard to get to,
Right.
and very expensive. I think
Yes.
you need a special
Right. Permit and
yeah,
something.
permit.
Mm.
But it should be very beautiful.
Yeah.
Very stark.
Right.
What tradition are the monasteries in Uztan? The Lupa, Kagyu,
Also, all the lineage possible. Yeah. It's
All the-
used to be the territory was Tibet.
yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was specifically, one that most people were Nyingma or Kagyu or
More
something
Kaju
like.
Nyingma possible. Gelupa is possible. Yeah, everybody. Yes.
I see.
But, yeah.
And I've heard that it's very traditional,
Mm.
more traditional, just old school kind of
Yes.
Tibetan Buddhism.
Right.
Is that right?
Mustanga. Mustang. Yeah.
Lama Gursam,
Yes.
Can I ask you, did you become a monk at a young age? Did you?
I was a monk very young age, when I was 6 or 7. Then I gave up monk when I was in around 30.
Wow, oh, that's a long.
The short story is like that. The long story is it will take all day to talk.
So you got a very early start
Yes,
in your study in Buddhism and
right. In a
meditation.
monastery, yeah. I was kind of trained in the traditional monastery kind of rule and regulations.
very, very strict.
Yeah. Yes.
Did you have to do your own cooking and cleaning? Like,
We have a group. We have a monastery's kitchen. We have to do it.
yeah, it's good,
Yeah.
right? It trains the mind to
Yes, it is.
everything could be a meditation.
I think it's a very good, generally speaking. Right now I see as after a long time, around 6, 7 years old, we have to work. There's nothing, we have to clean the monastery inside, outside, and each 2 students every day sometimes go to the kitchen, take care of the kitchens, helping with the main cook and cutting all this vegetable and to collecting the woods. And we used to have a monastery, have a cow. We have to wash the cow too. I remember
Yeah.
that part. Take out the cows and outside. We are so love to do that because we don't want to study,
Yeah.
That's a
It's fun to get
today's
away
my
from
turn to go and just go, don't want to study.
But now it's different, isn't it? In the monasteries, like when I was in Nepal
Yes,
12 years ago, the monks were not doing cooking anymore or even washing the dishes.
that's right.
They
It's,
have an Indian staff.
right. Now it's totally changed. They are much, much better, About financially much better. Food and clothing is much better. But I don't know. They're not working. I don't agree with that part. They should work, I'm not saying all day working,
Yes.
like at least couple hours for at least per day, or when they that there is no class time, they should work in class and monastery, cleaning monastery kitchen. So that taught me all the train, I'm good with the dishwash and family, and my living with the friends or family, I'm very good with that. And then my younger brothers, they doesn't know anything, have to teach them. There's nothing to teach actually the cleaning part. They have to do it, Then have to learn, Otherwise,
And it's a pleasant, it's not like an unpleasant experience. You can be a very meditative experience.
yes, it
Wow.
is, yes,
The work
possible,
involved.
right? Yeah, but our in the used to be monastery very strict rule, You have to do. There's no other choice. Otherwise, you get the punishment.
And it taught great discipline.
Right.
Um,
Yeah,
to
every day I
wake-
have to wake up
wake up.
5 in the morning, 4:30. I was in 6 or 7 years old. I remember that. We wake up in the early morning like this, We don't know how to wear the dress, even though
Yeah,
I have to wear many of we wear the dress in the nighttime, just sleep like that and get up morning right away. Don't have to worry. Then the belt comes to the too much without the resting the belt, it become issues about in the skin. That happens. Monastery sometimes one way is wonderful, one way is used to be too strict, Yeah,
the Buddha said the bow should not be too
Right.
tight or too loose.
yeah.
Well, should we respect your time
Right.
and do our dedication prayers and thank you very much for
Thank you.
everything that you have done coming here and being with us this past week, bringing us empowerment and discussion, and your friendship.
Yeah.
So we thank you very much, and you always are welcome here. And everybody else on Zoom, of course, is welcome here too. And it would be wonderful if we could all be together sometime soon. Maybe even in beer. We'll come knocking
Thank
on
you.
your door.
No problem. Welcome.
We'll make the pilgrimage to beer.
Yeah,
How's
you're
that?
welcome.
I'd like to meet your brothers.
Oh, brother.
Your little
Yes.
brothers.
Yeah, they're no little, but he's no longer little, but he's pretty sure he's a spoiled person. That's all.
All right. Well, if we can do our dedication prayers, in the yellow book, it would be page 28. And in the other book, I think it's page 18, the lineage dedication prayers. So we recite these in English, please. Dorje Chang, Talopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Dorma Popa, Agmajupa, and Lordri Kumpa. Please bestow upon us the auspicious blessings of all the Kaju Lamas. By this virtue, may achieve the all-knowing state. May all who travel on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara by defeating all enemies, confusion, the cause of suffering. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind. Where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. I pray that the Lama may have good health. I pray that the Lama may have long life. I pray that your Dharma activities spread far and wide. I pray that I may not be separated from you. May the teachings of the great Chukompa Ratnashri, who is omniscient, Lord of the Dharma, master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara. The dedication prayer by Lord Jigdan Sungha. Glorious, holy, venerable, precious, kind root and lineage lamas, divine assembly of Yilams and assemblies of Buddhas, Bodhisattvas, Yogins, Yoginis, and Dakinis, dwelling in the 10 directions, please hear my prayer. May the virtues collected in the 3 times, by myself and all sentient beings in samsara and nirvana, and the innate word of virtue, not result in the 8 worldly concerns, the 4 causes of samsara, or rebirth as a Shavaka or Pratyeka Buddha. May all mother sentient beings, especially those enemies who hate me and mine, obstructors who harm, misleading Mayas and the hordes of demons, experience happiness, be separated from suffering, and swiftly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious Buddhahood. By the power of this vast root of virtue, May I benefit all beings through my body, speech, and mind. May the afflictions of desire, hatred, ignorance, arrogance, and jealousy not arise in my mind. May attachment to fame, reputation, wealth, honor, and concern for this life not arise for even a moment. May my mind stream be moistened by loving kindness, compassion, and bodhicitta, and through that may I become a spiritual master with good qualities equal to the infinity of space. May I gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra in this very life. May the torment of suffering not arise even at the time of my death. May I not die with negative thoughts. May I not die confused by wrong view. May I not experience an untimely death. May I die joyfully and happily in the great luminosity of the mind as such and the pervading clarity of Dharmata. May I in any case gain the supreme attainment of Mahamudra at the time of death or in the Bardo, the Dark Karma prayer. By the virtues collected in the three times, by myself and all beings in samsara and nirvana, and by the innate word of virtue, may I and all sentient beings quickly attain unsurpassed, perfect, complete, and precious enlightenment. And now if we can do the long life prayers, today is the birthday of His Holiness, the 14th Dalai Lama. So if we can recite these, it's not in the book that you all have on Zoom, but it's in this yellow book. So while we're here, if we can just make these short prayers would be very good. For this realm, encircled by the snow-covered mountains, you are the source of every benefit and bliss without exception. Tenzin Gyatso, you are one with Avalokiteshvara. May you remain steadfast until samsara's end. Embodiment of the three precious jewels, Padmapani, who holds the teaching of the wisdom of the victorious one, seeing the all-goodness meaning with the wisdom eye. May you who are spontaneously established activities live long for hundreds of kalpas. Noble Manjushri, the Lord of Speech, who manifests to hold the teachings of the Triple Gem, who raises the lamp of the sage's teachings. May you who are the light of the Dharma live long for hundreds of kalpas. The one known in the Holy Land as Ayadeva emanated into the Gar clan of Eastern Tibet as Jodingpa, the heart son of Jigdan Gompa. May the life of the glorious Garchin remain steadfast for 100 eons. In this age of strife, when the victor's teaching faces hardship, through his powerful Vajra-like conduct, he takes on himself the heavy responsibility of the unbiased teachings. May Garchin, the son of the teachings, live long. That's all. Thank you all very, very much for joining us. Thank you again, Lama Gursam. We hope to see you again soon.
Yes.
Thank you, Lama Gursam. It's been good seeing you.
Thank you. Lama.
Good to see you all. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lama. It's an absolute honor.
Thank you.
Okay, so we'll see you all again soon. We'll be back to our regular schedule on Sunday. So Sunday at 8 o'clock in the morning.